She told me she was going on a girls-only weekend. Her best friend forgot to remove me from the private story. First video, her on a boat, sitting on another guy's lap. I didn't say a word, just canceled her return flight. 2 days later, she was sleeping at the airport. Before we start the story, huge thanks for 4,000 subscribers. I'm so grateful for all the support. Let's keep it going. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and help us reach 5,000. I've worked for the same airline for almost 9 years. Started as baggage handling during college, moved to customer service, and now I manage route scheduling for our East Coast operations. Not the most glamorous job, but it comes with decent pay and killer travel benefits. Those perks extended to my girlfriend Sarah during the 3 years we were together. Free companion flights, hotel discounts, priority boarding, the works. Sarah loved those perks. Sometimes I felt that's what she loved most about our relationship. Last month, Sarah mentioned that her best friend Jen was organizing a girls-only weekend in Miami. She'd been stressed with her nursing job, and I thought the getaway would do her good. I even used my employee discount to book her flight, adding seat upgrades and arranging for a complimentary bottle of champagne to be waiting when she boarded. What can I say? I wanted to surprise her. The Thursday before her trip, I helped her pack. She was giddy with excitement, talking about beach days and spa appointments. When I dropped her at the airport Friday morning, she kissed me goodbye and promised to not have too much fun without me. "It's just us girls anyway," she reminded me with a laugh. I went to work, busy with a weather disruption affecting our Chicago hub. Around 7 p.m., I was reviewing diversion plans when my phone lit up with a Snapchat notification. Jen had added a new post to her private story, the one usually reserved for her closest friends. I hadn't realized I was still included on this private story. Jen and I got along well, but we weren't particularly close. I clicked on it without thinking much, expecting to see typical vacation photos of cocktails and beach shots. The first video stopped me cold. There was Sarah on what looked like a chartered boat, sitting comfortably on some guy's lap, his arms wrapped around her waist. She was laughing, leaning back against him while he whispered something in her ear. Jen's caption read, "Day 1, and Sarah's already making friends. Get it, girl." I watched the video loop 3 times, noticing new details each time. The bottle of champagne I'd arranged as a surprise sitting in an ice bucket nearby. Sarah's hand resting on the guy's thigh. The familiar way she tilted her head when he spoke, a gesture I thought was reserved for me. Then came more posts. Group shots at a beach club with 3 guys I'd never seen before. Sarah dancing closely with the same guy from the boat. A boomerang of them taking shots together, his arms slung around her shoulders. This was clearly not a girls-only weekend. My first instinct was to call her immediately, demand explanations, but something stopped me. Maybe it was pride, or maybe it was the sudden clarity that came with undeniable evidence. Instead, I put my phone down and returned to my work, methodically handling the Chicago disruptions with a strange, detached focus. When my shift ended at 11 p.m., I drove home in silence. No music, no phone calls, just the sound of tires on asphalt and my own thoughts crystallizing into a plan. I knew our relationship was over. That part was non-negotiable. But how to end it? A text seemed insufficient for 3 years together. A dramatic confrontation wasn't my style, and ghosting felt immature. No, this needed to be handled differently. When I got home, I opened my laptop and accessed the airline's employee portal. Sarah's return flight was scheduled for Sunday evening. I looked at the passenger information, noting that she'd used my companion benefit with my employee authorization. Company policy was clear. These benefits required ongoing employment and relationship status verification. I didn't actually cancel her ticket. That would have been too obvious and potentially against company policy. Instead, I submitted an update to HR regarding my relationship status and removed her from my employee benefits profile, effective immediately. The system would automatically flag her return reservation for payment verification since the companion benefit was no longer valid. She would still have a seat, she'd just need to pay for it at the airport. At full last-minute fare pricing. Then I went upstairs and began methodically packing her things, not in anger or haste, just efficiently sorting what was hers from what was mine. Clothes in suitcases, toiletries in boxes, books and knickknacks carefully wrapped. 3 years of accumulated belongings organized and ready to be moved. I didn't touch her Snapchat or Instagram notifications again. Didn't need to. I already knew everything necessary to make my decision. Saturday passed in a strange bubble of productivity. I deep cleaned the house, removing every trace of our shared life. Changed the sheets, rearranged furniture, deleted our playlists. All while Sarah's story continued updating with more Miami adventures, completely unaware of what awaited her. She texted me a few times, casual updates that maintained the fiction of a girls' trip. Miss you. The spa was amazing. Jen says hi, we're having dinner at that place you recommended. Wish you were here. Don't work too hard. I replied with equally casual responses, giving no indication that anything had changed. Glad you're having fun. Weather looks perfect. Say hi back. Enjoy the food. Miss you too. See you tomorrow. Sunday afternoon I checked the flight status. On time. Then I drove to her sister's house where I knew she had a spare key. Megan answered the door, surprised to see me with a car full of boxes and suitcases. Is everything okay? She asked, confusion evident on her face. Not really, I replied calmly. Sarah and I are done. These are her things. Her eyes widened. What? Why? What happened? I handed her my phone, open to Jen's story from Friday. She told me it was a girls' weekend. It wasn't. Megan watched the videos, her expression shifting from confusion to understanding to anger. She handed the phone back. I'm so sorry, I had no idea. Not your fault, I assured her. But I need to leave her stuff here. I'll be changing the locks tomorrow. She hesitated but nodded. Of course, I'll help you unload. After everything was placed in Megan's garage, I handed her an envelope. Could you give this to Sarah when you see her? It's my only copy of the house key and an explanation letter. I will, she promised. Then, unexpectedly, she hugged me. For what it's worth, you deserved better. Sunday evening came, and with it, the scheduled landing of Sarah's flight. I imagined her at the airport in Miami, trying to check in, being told her companion benefit was no longer valid, the confusion turning to panic as she realized the full fare was nearly $600. The scramble to find that much available credit on her maxed-out cards. I didn't need to imagine what happened next because Megan texted me updates. Sarah just called me freaking out, said there's some issue with her ticket and she missed her flight. Then an hour later, she asked me to Venmo her money for a new flight. I told her I knew everything. She hung up on me. Around midnight, Jen posted a final Miami update, a picture of Sarah, curled up asleep in an airport chair, using her beach tote as a pillow. Caption, stranded in MIA because of ticket issues. Guess the party's officially over. I went to bed in my newly rearranged bedroom, surprised by how peaceful I felt. Monday morning, my phone exploded with notifications. Sarah had finally pieced everything together and was livid. Her texts came in rapid succession. You knew? And you let me sit at this airport all night? Answer your phone, you coward. I had to sleep on the floor because of you. How could you do this to me? After 3 years? I didn't respond to any of them. Around noon, she tried a different approach. Please, I can explain everything. It's not what it looked like. That guy meant nothing. It was just harmless fun. I love you. Only you. Please talk to me. Still, I maintained my silence. By evening, she had managed to book a budget flight home and went straight to our house, now just my house, only to find her key didn't work. According to the security camera notification, she rang the doorbell repeatedly, then sat on the porch for almost an hour before finally calling her sister. Megan picked her up and presumably delivered both her belongings and my letter. I know this because at 9:42 p.m., I received one final text from Sarah. I never meant to hurt you. I know that doesn't matter now. Goodbye. It's been 3 weeks. I've heard through mutual friends that Sarah moved in with Megan temporarily before finding her own place. She's telling people I overreacted to her making a new friend in Miami. Jen apparently feels terrible about the role she played and has been trying to contact me to apologize. I haven't responded. At work, I received a commendation for my handling of the Chicago disruption. Apparently, my laser focus that night after discovering Sarah's betrayal resulted in some of the most efficient recovery planning my supervisor had seen. The house feels different now. Emptier, but also lighter somehow. I'm sleeping better than I have in months, which makes me wonder how long I've been carrying the weight of suspicion without acknowledging it. Yesterday, I used my employee travel benefits for the first time since everything happened. Booked myself a solo trip to Seattle for next month. 1 seat, no companion fare, no champagne surprise. Just me, deciding where I want to go next. Sometimes the most effective revenge isn't about making grand gestures or public scenes. It's about stepping aside and allowing natural consequences to unfold. It's about reclaiming your own peace while someone else frantically searches for their next available flight. And sometimes, the best response isn't what you say, it's what you don't say. The silent recognition that some relationships, like some flights, are simply not worth waiting around for.